The angel is reminding you not to leave too quickly. Because today I declare to be the day you are set free from the storms that have lasted far too long. My beloved child, let your heart become still and listen to me in this hour. For not every season of pain is allowed to continue forever, and not every burden has the right to remain upon your shoulders until the end of the road. I have seen you in the days when you tried to stand firm while inside you were already weary. I have heard the sighs you hid behind silence. I have known the nights when you sat alone and no longer had the strength to explain to anyone what you were enduring. And today, through the mercy of a father who never forgets his child, I say that this storm has lasted long enough. Fierce winds are no longer permitted to carry you away. Darkness is no longer permitted to cover you, and the bitter words once aimed at you will no longer be the deciding voice over your life. Understand that this day does not come by coincidence. I marked it in my plan, preserved it through the seasons when you thought nothing was changing, and prepared it behind doors your eyes could not yet see. You once thought you were only waiting, but in that waiting, I was working. I was rearranging what had become tangled, placing the right people in the right positions, and loosening knots you did not have the strength to untie by yourself. When you thought all your prayers had fallen into silence, I was still listening. When you thought your hands were stretched out in hopelessness, I was still filling them with what would come at the appointed time. And now I declare this day to be a day of intervention, a day of support, a day when your heart will begin to understand that not one of your tears has been forgotten before me. You have passed through many trials with a heart that still knew how to hope. There were days when you had only a little strength left. Yet, you still did not let go of faith. There were moments when others turned their backs, promises dissolved, and the places where you once leaned became cold. Yet, you still tried to keep uprightness within your heart. You did not always understand why you had to walk such a long journey. And you did not always know why those who wounded you seemed more at peace than you. But I saw your obedience in the hidden place. I saw you choose what was right when no one praised you. I saw you swallow complaints so you would not become like the very things that hurt you. I saw you quietly keep walking when there was no applause for you. That endurance has touched heaven. I am not the one who turns his face away from the faithful in trouble. I am not the one who forgets those who still seek me in dry days. I am your Father, the one who sees what you do not say, understands what you cannot express, and preserves for you blessings no one can steal from my hand. When you are weak, I do not despise you. When you stumble, I do not abandon you in the dust. When you cry in silence, I do not stand far away and watch with coldness. I draw near to you, lift you with love, cover you with kindness, and teach you that brokenness is not the end when you are still in my hands. Those who once looked at your fragile moments and laughed will not understand what I am about to do. They saw your lack and quickly concluded that you would remain that way forever. They heard your crying and thought you had been abandoned. They saw doors close before you and assumed your story was over. But my child, they only saw one page. While I hold the whole book, they saw only the season of sowing in tears. While I had already prepared the harvest in joy, they saw you bow your head under pressure. While I saw a child being refined to stand firm in honor, and when I lift you up, No one will be able to say it came from a human hand. They will know that I intervened, that I remembered you, that I turned the place where you were once despised into the place where my light is revealed. I have not come only to pull you out of the battle, but also to give you restoration after that battle. I do not only want you to survive the heavy days, I want you to come out with a healed heart, a new vision, and a peace no longer controlled by what others say. There are parts of you that weariness has silenced. There are dreams you have placed in a dark corner because you feared being disappointed again. There are joys you thought you were no longer worthy to receive. But today I call them back. I call your strength back. I call your hope back. I call your true smile back. I call the holy confidence within you to rise. Not so you may become arrogant, but so you may know that you are loved and chosen. You kept peace when many people sowed chaos around you. You chose love even when some hands offered you only coldness. You tried to walk in truth, though false words surrounded you like a thick fog. I know it was not easy. I know there were times when you wanted to answer back, to prove yourself, to tell the whole world how misunderstood you had been. But you learned to place those things in my hands. And because you did not allow darkness to turn you into someone else, I will cause my light to be seen clearly upon you. Not a noisy light for you to boast in, but a peaceful light that makes others look and recognize that a gentle power is preserving you. Now, I will establish you before the very things that once made you afraid. I will place steadiness where you once trembled, clarity where you once felt confused, abundance where you once lacked, and joy where you once only endured. The words that once cursed you will not take root in the soil I have blessed. The intentions that once tried to pull you down will not rise higher than the purpose I have for you. Those who once thought you would never stand again will see you walking in grace. Not through revenge, but through the radiance of someone I have restored. Therefore, my beloved child, agree with what I am doing through an open heart. Stop bowing your head before the past. Stop thinking that what happened has the right to decide your entire future. Let me remove the heavy garment of sorrow from your shoulders and clothe you with new peace. This is the hour when I step in to intervene. The hour when I set a boundary before the storm. The hour when I speak to the things against you and say they may go no farther. You no longer have to live like someone who only knows how to hold on. You are invited to enter rest, to enter restoration, to enter the blessing I have preserved for you. Trust me, because the day of your deliverance has been called by name. And I, the Father who loves you, I'm leading you out of the season of tears and into the season of being lifted in my light. I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the power that once opened a path through the deep sea for my people is now opening a way through every barrier standing around your destiny. My child, receive this word with all your trust, for no wall you face is too high for me, no locked door too firm for my hand to open, and no opposition strong enough to stop what I have ordained for your life. The voice that once caused proud fortresses to fall is now shaking the invisible walls that were built to delay your breakthrough. The power that once brought life where there seemed to be only silence is now breathing new life into the path you walk. The things you thought had closed were never finished in my eyes. What you thought had died can still be called up by me. What you thought was lost forever can still be gathered, renewed, and returned in a more radiant form. So do not tremble before the noise around you. Do not let doubtful words, faithless murmurs, or the shadow of the past make you bow your head. They have no authority to rule over my plan for you. When I have declared deliverance, nothing can reverse that word. You are not walking through this season alone. Even when you feel as though you are standing in emptiness, I am still nearer than your breath. My bright messengers are moving according to my command. My hand is stretched over you like a steady covering. My presence is stirring a deep revival within your heart. In the very place that was weary, closed off, and afraid to hope again, be ready, my beloved child, because the chains that once made your steps heavy are beginning to fall. The cords that tied you to fear, shame, disappointment, and the feeling of being forgotten are losing their strength. I am bringing you out of the place of restraint and into the place of freedom. I am calling you out of the narrow room of old limitations and into a wider sky, where you no longer have to live as someone defined by wounds, but as one restored by my grace. You are stepping into a realm of restoration. But you must understand that my restoration is not merely the return of exactly what was lost. I do not act according to the narrow ways of humankind, nor do I return blessing by the small measure of calculation. When I restore, I make it overflow. When I repay, I do not merely patch the tear, I weave a new garment more beautiful than what you once had. When I return something to you, I do not simply place in your hands what was taken. I add wisdom, peace, steadiness, and joy that cannot easily be stolen. Where you once suffered, I am sowing seeds of joy. Where you were once troubled, I am pouring gentle stillness. Where you were once rejected, I am declaring that you belong to me, that you are called by name, chosen, and loved. The blessing I open in this season will not touch only you, it will also flow to your family, to those connected to you, and to generations who will look back and recognize that I turned the story around in the very place where all hope seemed gone. Your name is being mentioned in places where your feet have never stepped. There are conversations taking place that you cannot hear, but I am present there. There are doors opening without any human hand pushing them, because I am the one who holds the key. There are arrangements quietly moving, even as you read these words. And soon you will see that what I have prepared does not require you to exhaust yourself chasing after it. What belongs to you in my will shall find its way to you, not because you manipulated, fought, or begged, but because my grace draws it near. I will lead the right people to you, open the right path, make the right truth clear, and place you in the right position. Keep your heart pure, keep your faith steady, and do not let impatience cause you to step outside my guidance. Some miracles do not require you to chase them, they only require you to stand where I tell you to stand, in obedience and trust. Like the woman who had been weakened for many years, yet pressed through the crowd to touch hope, your perseverance has touched my heart. Like the blind man who cried out even louder when the crowd told him to be silent, your cry has risen to the place where I dwell. Like the faithful one in the dangerous den who still did not deny his faith, you held on to me within the circles of fear. like those thrown into the fire yet not swallowed by the flames. I stood with you in the burning seasons of trial. And now I am bringing you out without carrying the marks of what tried to destroy you. You thought those fires were only meant to burn. But I used them to prove that you are not easily defeated. You thought those deep dens were only meant to imprison you. But I turned them into places where I revealed my protection. You thought your cry was drowned out by the crowd. But I heard every sound that came from your heart. So receive this, not with doubt, but with humility and gratitude. Do not wear shame like an old garment anymore. Do not keep guilt as though it has the authority to decide your worth. I have cleansed you through my mercy. The sacrificial love of my only begotten has paid the full price, so you may walk in freedom, not only freedom from sin, but also freedom from the whispers that keep saying, you are unworthy, not good enough, unable to be loved, unable to begin again. You are my child. You are the one I love. You are my delight. When I look at you, I do not see only the times when you were weak. I see the purpose I placed within you. When I hear your prayer, I do not answer with coldness, but with patient love. I do not measure your worth by the battles you once lost, nor by the seasons when you wandered. I measure you by the redeeming love revealed on the cross, by the precious price that was paid, so you would know that you belong to me. Those who once threw bitter words at you will have to witness me placing dignity back upon you. Those who once doubted you will see you rise in a peace they cannot explain. Those who once abandoned you will hear your name mentioned in stories of restoration and my faithfulness. But do not desire this lifting up as a way to take revenge or display yourself. I do not raise you up so you may look down on others. I raise you up so you may testify that my hand can rebuild someone who was once considered broken. When I lift someone, I do not need anyone's permission. I do not hold counsel with those who oppose you before blessing you. I do not ask the past whether you are worthy to enter the future. I prepare a table in the very place where opposition once stood. So you will know that my protection is stronger than every scheme. I fill your cup until it overflows. Not so you may live in pride, but so you may live in deep gratitude. Lift your head, my child. The things that once bound you are losing their power. The things that once frightened you are being pushed back by my light. The things that once made you believe there was no way forward are making room for you to step ahead. This is the season when I show you that my word is firmer than every other voice, my love deeper than every wound, and my plan stronger than every opposition. Be ready to leave the old place, because I am not only freeing you from chains, I am leading you into the abundance of purpose. Walk with me in faith. Keep your heart tender. Keep your eyes toward the light. And remember that what I have begun in you will not stop halfway. When I open the way, the sea must yield. When I speak, walls must fall. When I call you back to life in hope, no darkness can keep you forever in the old place. Your waiting has not passed meaninglessly, because in my eyes, every day you patiently stood firm has become a seed for a great harvest. My beloved child, you thought those silent months and days were only a long period of weariness. But I used that very silence to cultivate what no one could see. You thought your pain was only a burden, but I turned it into a place of preparation. You thought the tears that fell in hidden corners were only signs of weakness. But I heard them as prayers without words. Not one tear was forgotten. Not one night was ignored. Not one sigh fell without touching my heart. I gathered each of those tears, not to remind you of old pain, but to turn them into keys that open doors you once did not dare believe were real. Now those keys are beginning to turn in locks that have been closed before you for too long. There are things you once thought were lost that I am bringing back to life in a new form. There are blessings you once prayed for and then stopped mentioning because you were afraid that more hope would bring more pain. Yet I still hold them in my hand. There are dreams you buried deep beneath the dust of disappointment, and I am breathing new life upon them. I am not only giving you exactly what you asked for, I am adding things you never knew to ask about. Things beyond your present vision. Things that do not come from your own ability to manage, but from the vast kindness of my heart. You asked for a path, but I can give you an entire new land. You asked for support, but I can give you a firm foundation. You asked to survive the storm, but I can use that very storm to bring you into a new depth of faith. This is the season of extraordinary grace for you. The hour of sacred turning points I prepared before you even realized you would need them. The things delayed will not remain forever in waiting. The rejections that once broke your heart will not have the final voice over your life. Doors that once closed are not always the final ending. There are doors I allowed to remain closed for a season to protect you. And then at the right time, I, myself, will cause them to swing wide open. Do not measure my faithfulness by human schedules. I do not rush according to your fear, nor am I delayed according to the doubt of the world. I move in perfect timing, and when the appointed hour arrives, no power can hold back. What I have declared will come to you. Therefore, when your heart feels the gentle pull of this word, respond with trust. You do not need to display yourself before anyone, nor do you need to create an outward appearance of strength. What I desire is a pure yes from your deepest place, an openness no longer ruled by old disappointment. I am turning things you cannot see. I am resetting the movement beneath your feet, bringing you out of stagnation and into the place I promised. I can stir the hearts of people for your sake, change circumstances that seem rigid, and rearrange meetings, timings, decisions, and pathways to place you exactly where you need to receive what I have prepared. Nothing is too far for me. No brokenness is too deep for me to touch. No story is too late for me to rewrite with my love and power. Remember, the blessing that is coming will not lift you alone. I am not renewing your life only so that you may stand by yourself in your own joy, but so that through you, many others may also be lifted. What I place in your hands will have a flow. Your restoration will become a lamp for those lost in the dark night. Your testimony will help someone not give up when they are standing at the edge of despair. Your breakthrough will break gloomy cycles that have lasted too long in your family. The healing within you will become living proof that I am still the one who binds up broken hearts. Still, the one who lifts those who have fallen. Still the one who turns ashes into new beauty. You are not only blessed so you can escape what hurt you, you are blessed so you can become a sign of hope for others. Tonight, I want you to lay down the fear that has followed you for too long. Let your sleep be covered by my peace. Not because every problem has disappeared in a moment, but because you know I am holding all things. Tomorrow, when you wake as one who has been called into a new season. Let your words no longer be stained by despair, but filled with faith. Speak to the mountains before you with steadiness, not because you have enough strength to move them by yourself, but because I am with you. My hand rests upon you. My word is alive within you, and my peace is testifying inside you that you do not walk alone. Do not doubt the shift you are feeling. It is me stirring what has been asleep. Do not take lightly the peace appearing in the midst of uncertainty. It is the mark I place within your heart to remind you that I am leading the way. Believe that today is the day you begin to be untangled from the things that once bound you. Deliverance does not always come with a loud sound. Sometimes it begins in the moment when you no longer agree with fear. Sometimes it begins when you stop calling yourself by the name of failure. Stop bowing before old condemnations, and stop letting the past decide the boundaries of your future. I am removing from you the burdens that do not belong to you. I am loosening the cords that have made your steps heavy. I am brightening your vision so you will not only see what has passed, but also what is coming. You are no longer the same person who entered this storm. You thought the storm only took from you, but in truth, it revealed the strength I placed within you. You thought fire only burned, but I used it to refine you. You thought pain only weakened you, but I used it to teach you endurance, compassion, and wisdom. In the days when I was silent, I was not far from you. I used that silence to draw you closer, so that you would not only seek answers, but seek me. I allowed you to pass through places where no one could fully rescue you, so that you would recognize me as the source of help that never runs dry. I allowed you to wait, not to make you wither, but so the roots of your faith could grow deeper into firm ground. And now, I use my power to bring you out, not as someone who has just escaped danger, yet still trembles in fear, but as one who has been refined, prepared, renewed, and equipped for the road ahead. You cried, but tears did not swallow you. You hurt, but pain did not define you. You waited, but you did not wait in vain. I have used it all, woven it all together, and it is all becoming part of the story of restoration I am writing over your life. So, my beloved child, rise with peace. Do not look at the delayed years as proof that you were forgotten. See them as the ground where I planted what is about to bloom. Do not be afraid when old things shake. Some things must leave so that what is enduring can be established. Do not complain about the doors that once closed. Many of those doors protected you from what was never meant for you. Now, as I open what is new, step in with humility and gratitude. Let your faith become stronger than the memory of disappointment. Let my voice become louder than the voice of doubt. Let my peace guide you step by step. I did not bring you through so many seasons of trial just to let you stop at the threshold. I am calling you forward, unlocking the things whose time has come, placing in your hands not only the blessing you once prayed for, but also the maturity, clarity, and strength to preserve it. Believe, for what is coming is not coincidence. It is the season I appointed, the turning point I prepared, the restoration blooming from the very places where you once thought only tears remained. You will testify again. You will sing again. You will laugh again in holy joy. Because suffering is not the final period of your life. Tears are not the final voice. And pain is not the one holding the pen over your destiny. I am the one who is continuing to write your story. I am opening a new chapter. A chapter where the storms that once made you tremble will be broken. The long nights that once shadowed your heart will give way to light. And the miracles that once seemed delayed will begin to appear at the exact time I have appointed. You have walked through many heavy seasons. There were times when you thought all you could do was endure in silence. But I never allowed injury to become the throne over your life. I saw every step you took in darkness, heard every hidden sigh, and gathered every tear no one knew about. And now I say to you that the season of mourning cannot hold you forever, because my hand is lifting you from the place where you once bowed your head. But, my beloved child, when blessing begins to pour in, remember to remain near me. Stay in my word, in prayer, and in holy stillness, where you can hear my voice more clearly than all the noise of the world. What I am about to do will be great, but that greatness also requires you to be more deeply rooted in me. Doors will open. Opportunities will come. Grace will spread over you. But if your heart moves away from me, you can easily be swept away by the very thing you once prayed for. So do not seek only the gift and forget the giver. Do not rejoice only because your hands are being filled while forgetting to keep your heart humble. Without me, even the greatest blessing can become empty. But with me, even the smallest thing becomes a miracle. Even a simple meal becomes a feast. And even a narrow road becomes a path leading to peace. The day of your deliverance has come. Not because you broke the chains by yourself, but because I have commanded what bound you to let go. You have waited a long time, prayed through tears, and remained patient in seasons no one understood. And now heaven has answered. I am not bringing you into this season of blessing so you can walk alone. I go before you to open the way, beside you to comfort you, and around you to preserve you. When you are weak, I lift you. When you are confused, I guide you. When you face doubtful eyes, I will testify on your behalf through things no one can deny. You are the one I have chosen, called by name, and preserved through many trials. What once stood against you cannot determine your future, because the final authority does not belong to circumstances, to the adversary, or to the fear within your heart. It belongs to me. Therefore, stand upright, my child, but stand in humility. Rejoice, but do not leave my presence. Receive, but do not forget to serve with a clean heart. The storm did not destroy you. The battle did not swallow you. And the dark night did not extinguish the light I placed within you. Now your blessing begins not as a passing echo, but as a river being opened. Step into this new season with steadfast faith, because I was with you in the place of pain, and I will also be with you in the day of joy. What I have promised, I will complete. What I have opened, no one can close. And what I have placed upon your life, no wind can carry away.